How can one goddess embody both love and terror? What does this strange duality of Hecate mean for us today in the modern world and in our spiritual journeys and in our everyday lives? If you've ever felt confused or unsure about who Hecate actually is, whether she's a goddess to fear or to love and work with, this video is going to clear all of that up. I'm going to help you understand her full potential nature so that you can connect with her energy in a balanced way and a way that supports you, your spiritual growth, and your personal empowerment. And so by the end of this video, you're going to see why her strange duality isn't a contradiction. It's a vital lesson, embracing both strength and compassion in your own life. My name is Sandra. I'm the author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. I help witches who are struggling to either start a practice or deepen a practice, integrate magic and ritual and connection into their daily lives with ease. I've been working with Hecate now for, since 2018. And I have found her to be nothing but a very helpful deity. I have not felt anything negative about her at all. And a lot of the things that people will tell you about Hecate or working with Hecate aren't necessarily true. Now, she's an ancient goddess. She's known across time as a powerful protector and a guide, both a fierce guardian and compassionate figure at the same time. But many people only know one side of her and one side of her story, and this can create a lot of confusion out there. Now, for centuries, Hecate has been portrayed as either a terrifying goddess of ghosts or the underworld, being very nasty and very heavy-handed with people who don't do what she says or don't give her dip-nons every month. Or she's seen as a nurturing guardian of magic and love from other people as well. And this does seem to be a contradiction, and it does make it hard to understand what her true role is and how do we reconcile these opposing traits and how do we embrace these to help us grow as well. Now, if you're curious to experience Hecate's energy more deeply and start awakening your own inner power and stepping into who you truly are, with her guidance, I do invite you to watch my free video called Awaken Your Power with Hecate. It's packed with practical insights and simple steps to help you connect with her loving yet fierce energy. You'll find the link in the description field below this video. It's a beautiful way to begin to deepen your journey with Hecate and establish a relationship with her. You can also find it on my website, mysterywitchschool.com, on my freebies tab. So let me know in the comments or in the chat if you're watching the premiere of this, what do you think of Hecate? Which side connects with you more? Her loving side, the protective nature, or her fierce, take no crap energy? Or maybe it's both. And so drop your thoughts in the comments or the chat because I'd love to hear how you experience her. Now, Hecate's origins do date back to ancient Greece, and she's essentially an Anatolian deity. She has a shrine in Turkey still, or remains of a shrine in Turkey. And she was honored as a goddess of crossroads, of magic, and the night. A lot of people had shrines to Hecate. She was a prolific goddess. A lot of people would have symbols of hers on their doorways to protect them, but also in a spiritual sense too. So spiritual passages, rites of passage, transformations in your life, changes that you're making in your life, when you're at a crossroads in your life. Hecate has a role to play in that too, if you wish her to play a role. Now, her symbols are also associated with these functions. The keys, for example. She has the keys to the doors. You open the door, you go through a liminal space. You're going through a transition from one space to another space. She also has a lot of connection to dogs. She has her hounds, and that's associated with the underworld and with that earth energy, but also with the aspect of protection that comes with the energy of dog spirit. She has those torches which help illuminate you and help you see in the dark. And the dark moon, where you can't see anything. So you have to go within and see within and understand within so that you can navigate without. She has other symbols as well, but these are the ones that you will often work with, and often you'll see these symbols when she's asking you to work with her, or if you're getting a sign that it's okay to work with her. Now, on her compassionate side, beyond the dark, beyond the mysterious, she is deeply compassionate. She is a goddess of three worlds. So there's the underworld or the chthonic world, there's the middle world, and there's also the upper world of the Empyrean realms. And so she can be a goddess of compassion. The savioress, Hecate Soteria, is the savioress. She protects travelers. She protects women in childbirth, the seekers of wisdom, which are most people who are traveling a spiritual path or a magical path are seekers of wisdom. We're seekers of the truth. We want to know what the truth is. We want to know about magic. We want to know who and what we truly are and what we're doing here. We don't settle for what we've been told by mainstream religions or our culture or politics or ideologies or anything like that. We want to find out what the truth really is. And so she's great at helping you do that. And she's not a romantic goddess. She's not an Aphrodite and she's not a Venus, but she's quite fierce in her compassion and her love that honors this wisdom and honors personal boundaries and also self-respect. So she's very good at helping you protect yourself and know when to say yes and when to say no. She can help you get the courage to be able to stand up for yourself. She embodies strength and fierce protection, and it is fierce protection. She's a bit like that sort of stereotypical headmistress type energy where she gives you that stern look and you know that you've done something wrong. It is like that. It's like a stern look that Hecate can give you when she knows that when you know actually that you could have done something differently or that you're not paying attention to what you really could be doing. She has that fierce protection, and if you ask her to help protect you against other people or other circumstances, she has that fierce look energetically toward them too that they may be able to pick up. It is like a very, very stern energy. That's a don't mess with me kind of energy. She does demand respect, for sure. And when it comes to disrespect, she will very much give you the flick, essentially. I've never experienced this aspect with her, but I do know of other people who, it's not so much that it's not that she's punishing, it's more that if you think of a Zen master with their stick, that if you're practicing meditation and you start to slump, the Zen master will come along with the stick and whack the stick, and it gets you sitting up. She can be a little bit like that. And it's not like she's physically whacking you with a stick, but it could be a circumstance that crops up that gets you to wake up out of your slumber, essentially. It's not anything you can't handle, but it is a bit of a wake up. She's a guardian who will not tolerate those who cross any of those boundaries, like moral boundaries or spiritual boundaries, when you're working with her. And so if you ask her to help protect you, if you invoke her to do any magic of protection, that's how she will work. Anybody who does try to cross you in any way won't be able to do that. It won't go well for them. So there's more of a no-nonsense aspect to her. If you ask her to do something for you that involves people, basically dragging their feet, like insurance companies, for example. She will whip them into action and get them making decisions on whether you get the insurance or not and when, pretty much straight away. She's that type of no-nonsense kind of goddess. And it's not that she's harming anybody in the process of doing all of this. She just has a way of being able to basically get the whip out and get people moving. Now, many witches and spiritual seekers who work with Hecate for shadow work find her incredibly helpful, and this is a way that I have found her to be wonderful. She will help you with your shadow work and help you understand what you need to work on, what your beliefs are that are keeping you stuck, by showing them to you in one way or another. And if you're needing the courage, if you're needing transformation, she will help you do that. She can mirror to us what it is that we're struggling with. So showing us in the mirror what we need to work on. So if you're needing to work on courage, for example, she may put you in a situation in which you need to experience courage. She may show you what areas in your life are being held back because you're not standing in courage and using courage, and then she will help you remove whatever's stopping you, which is probably beliefs that you're not allowed to, or that you're not good enough, or whatever it is. She helps us see the light side and the dark side of our own natures and teaches us to embrace them and understand how to integrate the more unsavory aspects of ourselves into our full self, so that we can use the gifts that we have and not have them be in the shadow where they're actually going to cause problems for ourselves and other people. Now, Hecate's duality also embodies the natural cycles of life. She will help you understand creation and destruction, that they're both a part of life. And if you really want to connect with nature, you have to understand nature involves creation and destruction. Because when you look at nature, there's a lot of very unpleasant aspects to nature. She'll help you understand birth and death, love and fear, and to recognize that these forces are connected to each other. They're parts of polarity. They're interconnected, and help us be able to accept change and the transformation rather than fearing change and transformation. Because change is a constant. It's always going to happen. Life is in flux all of the time. And if you're fearing that, then you're not going to have a good ride in this life. So she can help show you that. But often when Hecate shows you something that you're afraid of, it will be quite scary. But it's just, she's showing it to you. She's just mirroring it back at you so that you can see it. Sometimes the only way we can change is by having circumstances that force us into the change. The circumstances are unpleasant and we want to change the unpleasant feeling, so we have to do something to get ourselves out of that from a feeling perspective. When you can see the shadow within yourself, you can see it within other people, you can understand more about humanity and the way people are and why they're the way they are, and not take offense to demonstrations of greed, selfishness, narcissism, and all of those things. It doesn't mean that you become a victim of people when they're showing these traits. It just means that they don't push your buttons and you're able to walk away from them or just deal with it without it being an issue to you, like water off a duck's back. Because this balance of being able to understand the light and the shadows is essential for spiritual growth and essential for empowerment. When we're giving in to other people's shadow side out of fear, we lose our power. When we dive into our shadow aspects unconsciously, we lose our power. We have to bring our shadow aspects into our conscious awareness so that we can find the gift in them and use that gift to help us, because our strength is in that gift. So the strength of arrogance is confidence. So you have to dip into the arrogant aspect to find where the confidence is. What is true confidence? A lot of people who have issues with arrogance, and I'm not talking about arrogant people, I'm talking about people who don't like arrogance or really have an offense to anything to do with arrogance. Like arrogant people seem to be in their life a lot and they don't like it, is because they haven't dealt with their own inner arrogance or their fear of arrogance. So they often will not be very confident people because they're not digging into their confidence, which is the gift in arrogance. Arrogance is a fear-based thing. It comes out of fear of not being good enough. And so you tout yourself beyond even what your capabilities are. It's like a compensation for something that you feel lack. But what the positive aspect of arrogance is, if it's held in a positive way, is actual confidence in yourself. A lot of people will put themselves down and not take compliments because they're worried about appearing arrogant, which means they're not stepping into the gift of simply being confident and simply being able to say, yes, I am good at that. She can inspire us to also set boundaries, to stand up for ourselves, to walk our paths with courage. And she teaches us that compassion doesn't mean weakness. You can have compassion and be firm at the same time. Her compassion is like that. If you care about other people, you're not going to let them walk all over you because it's not good for them either. It's not good for you and it's not good for them. So compassion simply means being able to see the bigger picture, to have enough self-respect and self-love that you step back from something and go yes or no, depending on what you're discerning in that situation. That's why Hecate can sometimes seem like she's hard or takes no crap, because even though she's compassionate, she still gives everything and everyone their due. And that's really important to understand. Compassion is about giving each and everything its due. Not giving it more or not giving it less, just giving it its due. And so that means having a lot of strength within yourself and a lot of love and a lot of clarity within yourself. And this is something where you have to integrate the gifts of the shadow, such as self-care, which is the gift in selfishness, self-love and acceptance, which is the gift of narcissism, and the confidence, which is the gift in arrogance, and she will help you with that. So Hecate's love and her terror side aren't opposing forces, really. They're two sides of the same coin. She's an ancient guide for navigating the mysteries of life and the shadows within us all. So you can't be all unicorns and butterflies when it comes to walking this earth path. Because of the polarity that we experience in this life, we have to walk the light and the shadows. Otherwise, we don't survive. We don't have a good mental, emotional experience of this life. We have to understand that it's about shadow and light, that it's a polarity. And when we can embrace the dual nature of nature and her dual nature, we can then walk our spiritual paths with more of an open heart and more fierce courage within our own lives. We become more like her, where we can be compassionate, but we give everything its due, and we can also fiercely stand up for ourselves or for those that we love without necessarily being really harmful in the process. It's all about energy, and Hecate's energy it demands respect. We can learn to be like that too when we need to be, because yes, there are times when you do need to stand in your fierce nature to defend yourself or defend others around you, and there's nothing wrong with standing in that energy, and Hecate will help show you that there's nothing wrong with standing in that energy. And it's really the energy you're standing in. It's the energy of self-respect and self-love and dignity, essentially. I want to dispel some of the myths around Hecate as well. People will say things like, if you stop working with Hecate, you will be in trouble. She'll cast her wrath upon you if you stop working with her or you don't give her dipnons every month. That's not true. I don't work with Hecate all the time, and I don't give dipnons every month, and I have not felt any kind of wrath come from her at all. It's very easy sometimes that when you believe in something, that you project that belief back at yourself. So if people have experienced any of these things, I doubt it's coming from Hecate herself. It's more likely coming from their belief that she is a nasty deity that has such an ego that if you don't work with her all the time, or you don't give her dipnons all the time, somehow she's going to come against you. She doesn't have an ego. That kind of behavior is ego behavior. Now, if you are feeling called to step into a deeper and more powerful relationship with Hecate, to fully embrace her nature of fearless strength and fearless compassion, and you're wanting to become more of who you truly are, you're wanting to shift your identity to being the person you know you truly could be, if you only had the courage to do so. I've got a course called A Journey with Hecate. It's designed to guide you through transformative practices, shadow work, and rituals that will unlock your true potential. You're working with Hecate every step of the way with this, and you also have me if you're struggling with anything that I can help you with as well. That's A Journey with Hecate. There's a link in the description field below this video, and you can also find it on my website, mysterywitchschool.com. So let me know in the comments field what your connection with Hecate is, or your curiosity with Hecate, because I would love to hear how you perceive Hecate, and also why you're wanting to work with Hecate. So if you liked the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Blessed be.